Hello and welcome to our episode of FinTech Focus TV with me, Toby. We are here at the FIX EMEA Trading Conference in London, and it is my great pleasure to be talking to Vincent Grandjean. How are you, sir?
Hi, I'm very good. And yourself?
Very good indeed, very good indeed. So, Propellant, I think we met probably about 10 months or so ago. Yes. I came into your office and saw your work. It's an exciting business. We're going to talk a little bit about that. You've been on a panel talking today as well, all about the future of the markets, etc., etc. We'll come into that, find out a little bit of takeaways from there. But I love what you're doing. It's an interesting business. It seems like you're going from strength to strength. Also, tell me a little bit about yourself and the company.
So I've been in London for the last 20 years, more than 20 years, and I've gone through equity and fixed income. And I think over the last 10, 15 years, I've been focused on looking at analytics for banks. When I worked in the past, I've been involved into market structure, market changes. I've done Dodd-Frank, I've done MiFID, and now 3.5 years ago we launched Propellant.Digital, with a data analytics company specializing on fixed income.
And talk to me a little bit about that. So where was the opportunity? What made you decide to do that?
So the opportunity that we found was that there are a lot of public information flying around, and one example being the MiFID data. And people have been struggling to access to this data and to do something meaningful with the data. So it's where we have identified the pain, and it's where we have been able to help market participants like banks, asset manager, and trading venue to take much more value from the data.
Fantastic. And you've been talking, as I say, on the panel today.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about what the discussion was about. What did it center around?
The discussion was oriented on the change in the market. So we look at what is available as data, what you can do with the data, and especially as we speak about the CTP, the consolidated tape coming, how we are going to use this data. Are the data good quality? Is it something that is ready to use? And once we clean the data and make something meaningful of the data, what's going to be the impact on the market on the back of the data? The data are just data, right?
And what does that look like? Because data, as you say, is the conversation everyone's having at the moment.
Yes.
I know there's been other panels that sort of tie into this. We're talking about AI panels. AI only succeeds if it's got the quality of data behind it. We're seeing a load of, I think for years we've been talking about data within financial services. It feels like now we're actually seeing it actually being a proper conversation and people thinking about the quality of that data and the cleanliness of that data and how important it is behind it. What are we seeing there now?
I think when you look at the data journey, there is 80% of pain, which is going to be aggregating, normalizing, and cleansing. Once you have done that work, actually, and explain how the data works, it's 20% of pleasure. And it's where you can get the algo trading desk, where you can implement most machine learning, when you can do AI. Without being that, I mean, garbage in, garbage out, right? That's the rule.
Exactly right.
AI and ML doesn't address garbage at the moment.
I mean, that's such an important part of the way you're saying, isn't it? So talk to me about your sort of take. So you're sat there and on the panel today. If you were having people watch you speaking during that sort of that panel, what would be the takeaways you want them to think about from your perspective, from them watching you today? What would you be wanting them to go home thinking about?
I think what I want to tell them, there are plenty of data available. If you are able to understand it properly, there is plenty of value to use the data, but it needs an effort. Nothing came for free. So so much data, but if it's well understood, it's well clean, you can actually do something useful with it.
And what stops people understanding that data?
I think if we take the MiFID data set, it's quite complex to understand with all the different that are applying. There is a lot of commercial, but that's across the board. There is a lot of noise that can be that need to be removed, and that doesn't apply just to MiFID data, to a lot of data sets. You really need to shape it in a way that it will be useful for the use cases.
Absolutely. And in terms of you and the year ahead, it's an exciting year, I think, for everyone around here. There's a good buzz around the room, and there's a good excitement. You're 3.5 years into the journey.
Yeah.
So I've been watching it, as I say, scale up and grow up. You've gone through some of the team. It's never been an easy time to start a business, and but we've been seeing probably the best time to be starting a business within the data space.
Yes.
So every time, and I know I haven't actually spoken to you about this before, but every time your name comes up, every time the business name comes up, it's great feedback.
Okay.
People are impressed with what you're doing. People are impressed with what you're doing. There's always things that are happening within that space, within that. So talk to us a little bit about what we expect to see from Propellant.Digital over the course of this year. What's exciting?
I think the next 12 to 18 months, it's being able to replicate what we have done with the European data set towards the US data.
Yeah.
So being able to look at trace data to complete the picture for bonds and to the SDR data for a derivative. So bringing all these data sets together and having a fixed view of the market between Europe and the US. So you would be based on both sides of the Atlantic and having a good view of what's happening in fixed income. And we will be able to do that thanks to our technology and the sales that we are running for our clients.
Fantastic. Well, listen, I wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
Parsel, thanks for joining us today. Well done on the panel. Well done for the session.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next episode of FinTech Focus TV. Thanks a lot.